Hey everyone, today I'm going to be sharing with you how my project pan is going after 2 months. So if you haven't seen my first video in this project pan series where I actually pick out what products I want to use up, I definitely recommend checking that one out first before watching this video so that you know why I picked these products and can see how I felt about the whole thing at the beginning and now how I feel about it for the 2-month check-in. So I said in my first video that choosing 2 eyeshadow palettes to try to pan was ambitious, and that's definitely true. It was a mistake. I should not have done that, but I have consciously been picking these palettes up more often, so I guess that is a plus to doing this, is I've been using them more often. When I picked these, I wasn't really thinking about the transition from summer to fall. It's definitely difficult to try to pan 2 eyeshadow palettes that are neutral colors because then it limits your options. The Lorac Pro has some color to it, but not enough for me to really play around with a lot of bright, bold colors. In the Neutral Eyes palette, I tried to grab Heaven to set down my eyeshadow primer more often, just because that's a shade I can sort of start going through on a daily basis. I can also do that in the Lorac Pro palette if I want to use white or cream. I think I've been making a little bit of progress on this, but more so with the Lorac Pro. I'm wearing pewter on my eye today, along with deep purple, some mauve, some taupe. Hopefully there is some sort of showing of progress, but I think light bronze is probably my most promising. Now for the bronzer, it might not show in the picture, but I've definitely been making progress. Every time I do my bronzer, or almost always, not every time, but almost always, I've been using the NARS Laguna because it needs to be used. I can't really tell if there's a dent really in it, but I can tell that there's been some sort of scattering of the powder on top, so it does look like it's being used more often. I think if any of you are trying a project pan, pick items that you're going to use every day. I thought I was doing that, but really the eyeshadows is just so tough when there's so many options and things that I want to do with different types of colors and things along those lines. I have been using the Pixie Correction Concentrate quite a bit. As I've been using it, I'm really realizing that I do love my Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid in pink so much more. And I've also noticed the more I've been using this, it seems to be getting a little bit drier in the jar. I don't know, I'm going to keep using it, but I much prefer using something that has a wand or doe foot applicator because it just seems a lot easier than trying to find a brush or using my finger, getting it on my finger, and then putting it under my eye. But I think I am making progress on this, so I will continue to do so, even though it's not my favorite for color correcting under the eyes. This one has been the most noticeable difference from any of the products that I've chosen. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser for Dark Circles from Maybelline. You can tell from the picture that I have made progress, so I am extremely happy about using this one. It looks disgusting. I need to clean out the cap. Whenever I do concealer, I try to use this one. It is a little on the darker side for a lot of the foundations I wear, so I have to be careful about what I'm pairing it with, but it still looks beautiful on the skin, blends out really evenly and easily. I'm happy with my progress on this concealer. It's another one of those products that I think if you are trying to do a project pan, a concealer would be a good one to pick because you probably will be using it more often. Now this one's a little tricky. It's the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, and from the pictures it's really hard to tell because the first picture I took and the second picture I took, the product doesn't settle nicely in an even way. Like how this one gets pushed down as you go down through it so you can really tell how much you've used. You don't see that with this. So even though I've been using it a lot, every time I want a more radiant complexion, I've been grabbing this. But it's hard to tell from the way the product sits in the packaging whether or not I've really gone through as much as I think I have. I've noticed over time that as I've had this product for longer and longer, it doesn't apply to the skin as nicely. It still applies nicely, but not as nicely as I remember it applying when I first bought it. It does have a year lifespan on it. It's supposed to be good for 12 months, so maybe it does start to turn bad if you haven't used it up. So if you're someone who has this primer and you want it to stay as nice as it is when you first get it, use it up on time. Don't let it sit, because for whatever reason it feels chunkier or something. I don't know. So overall, I feel like I am making progress, especially with the concealer. You can definitely tell that I've been working on it versus the other ones where you may not be able to tell, but I know in my heart that I have been using the products more. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what products you're trying to go through and any advice you have on getting through the products quickly. As always, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.